Hello from Cheltenham Racecourse. It is the end of the day 2 of the 2020 Cheltenham Festival and a day of drama we have witnessed. I'm Sam Hanson and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined to discuss the day's events by reigning champion jockey Richard Johnson and also Racing Post columnist Richard Johnson and Racing Post editor Tom Kerr. Thank you both very much for joining us. So it's been a real day of drama, a day that you certainly couldn't script. And we'll start with the feature race of the day, the Champion Chase, which sort of unravelled as we got closer to race time, with obviously Altior, then Chacun Pour Soi not running. And then the horse we all thought would then pick up the mantle, Envoi Allen, looked like a penalty kick, didn't run his race at all. Dickie, what's the word on the street about him?
Yeah, no, like I was obviously watching it, and I know the horse really well, and even early on, even sort of passing the stands, I thought he's not really jumping as fluently as you'd like, and he just looked a bit laboured. The ground is very, very hard work today, but again, he just didn't sparkle, and afterwards, Barry and Philip were all a bit lost, really. Lucky enough, he seems absolutely 100%, but yeah, very disappointed, and like I say, he looked like the perfect horse for the race, and as the race sort of, like you say, with Chacun Pour Soi as well going out this morning, you thought it was his race to win, but just shows us there's no certainties in this job.
No, absolutely not. Politologue, though, I suppose he almost deserved that win, really, because he's sort of been in every dogfight, hasn't he? He's been in the Champion Chase numerous times. He's so frequently the runner-up. He's had his day, and a great day for him.
It was, yeah. This is his 5th time coming to Cheltenham and his first win. He seems one of these horses been about for years now, and it was great to see him run around with real vigour and zest. But it frankly was a result nobody expected. The race cut up. We didn't get the three-way clash that we hoped we would get, and Envoi just didn't run his race, and that really left it open, and Politologue has come through, scooped the prize for Paul Nicholls, who of course didn't have a runner yesterday. Astonishing to say that at Cheltenham. Paul Nicholls didn't have a runner. Spent the day in the Hollow Bottom pub, I think, or maybe back at Ditchy. But basically, he's had a great day today, and a good one for Politologue.
He certainly knows how to prepare a horse from a race, doesn't he? Like he's a master with that. And actually, I went down to Ditchit a few weeks back for one of the preview events, and he was absolutely adamant that Politologue would run a big race. He's a great judge, isn't he?
Yeah, like I think he's a great judge, and like I say, it's having those old horses sort of come back year after year. It's not easy. Do you mean we know they're all animals and they get knocks and bumps, and like we saw with Denman, Cater Star, all those sort of horses. To keep them at that level for so long is very difficult, and he's fantastic at it. And I think the thing today as well, Politologue, he jumped and travelled at that ground. He really seemed to thrive on the conditions where, like I say, some of the other horses just couldn't go.
No. And Barry Geraghty, of course, on Envoi Allen, you could see from a long way out, probably from his body language, that it wasn't really going to happen for him. Champ, on the other hand, in the RSA, it looked to all the world like it wasn't going to happen for him either. But Barry was clearly still driving. And then after last, he suddenly hit overdrive, and that was incredible.
Yeah, I think it just shows how much natural talent Champ's got. Look, again, in that sort of tacky ground, he down the back straight, I thought he was finding the fences were sort of almost coming quicker than he could cope with. And I think Barry's given him a great ride, because he's obviously, he gave him a bit of daylight. He's nursed him into the race. He's nursed him for 3 miles really, and then when he's really asked him for everything, he's found plenty, and it just shows the talent, I think, of the horse. But also obviously Barry's had a fantastic day, but that's it just shows he's such a good horseman. He could manage to do that. He obviously, after the fall here the last day, again, as we said before, it's not an ideal preparation, but I think a lot of the credit has to go down to Barry. I think he's nursed the horse around, given him the confidence to do it, and then found at the end as well.
Tom, do you think it could be argued that the two that were leading for most of the way got into battle with each other a little bit early?
Well, it might have happened. They did seem to be running on fumes going up that hill, and we know how punishing the hill can be. But nonetheless, this was one of the great miracle finishes at Cheltenham. Hit 400 in running on Betfair, so some people have done extremely well out of that. But taking the last, I can't think many people gave Champ any hope, but he just flew up the hill. It was absolutely thrilling. The crowd came to their feet as one. It was an absolutely thrilling race, and that's what the hill at Cheltenham can deliver, these absolutely blockbuster, stunning finishes.
And blockbuster, I think, is something that a lot of people might describe Tiger Roll as. We were all anticipating, hoping to see him come back and win at his 5th festival. Alas, it wasn't to be. EASYSLAND, a very emphatic winner on the day.
Yeah, he was, and I think a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, did Tiger Roll not perform and everything else?" But actually, when I saw the replay back up the straight, they were both a long way clear of everything else in the race. And EASYSLAND has actually been a very good winner. He jumped and travelled fantastic through the race, and he's only a 6-year-old. He it sounds silly, but he could actually be just a very good horse, and perhaps we all underestimated slightly how good he was. So I'm sure they'll all be disappointed that Tiger Roll didn't win. I think it's hard not to love Tiger Roll because the horse he's been, but I don't think that should put anybody off Tiger Roll's challenge in the National this year. I think he's still run a decent race. He finished tired, but again on those conditions, I think perhaps we should just almost give a lot of credit to the winner as well.
Tom, could you still fancy him for the National?
Well, Connection said Tiger hated the ground today, so I think you can potentially just chalk that down as him not firing at 100%. But of course, as Richard says, the winner was fantastic. The two of them went a long way clear, and you take EASYSLAND out of that race, and Tiger has won very impressively. So Connections will do what's right by the horse. They'll take him home and see how he is. But they seem to be still enthusiastic about running in the National. If Tiger is up for it and comes home sound, then obviously we'd all love to see him turn up at Aintree for that historic attempt at the 3rd National.
We'll keep our fingers tightly crossed for that. And of course, if Tiger Roll was perceived as a bit of a banker that got beaten, one banker who certainly wasn't beaten is Envoi Allen. A very impressive performance from him.
Yeah, I think probably at the moment after 2 days, he's the horse has probably sort of made everyone sort of think, God, he really is, going to be very special. He's obviously still a young horse, and we were coming down the hill, and I thought, there's a few going quite nicely, and then all of a sudden he hit top gear off the bend, and he very quickly put the race to bed, and just he's very professional. He jumped, he travelled, and the way he won, I thought was very impressive. And he's the horse I think you take out of the race, or out of the meeting so far, thinking next year, whether they stay over hurdles or over fences, everyone's going to be worried and trying to avoid him wherever he goes.
It's interesting that you say he's a horse that looks like he's going to be very good. I mean, he's already very good. But like you say, that performance it looked as though we haven't yet seen the best of him, which is a frightening thought, isn't it, Tom?
It was a stunning performance, and one of those rare examples where you see a well-backed horse going around and giving people very little to worry about, frankly. I think the interesting thing now is where Connections go next, because they've got a serious talent on their hands and a big choice to make about his future direction. I mean, it's a nice choice to have, let's be honest, but it will be interesting to see what they do. Richard, have you got any views on what they should do?
Not really. Look, I'm sure he'll jump a fence, and I'm sure he is a chaser, probably in the making. But obviously, I think after this year, we've all seen the Champion Hurdles looked very open this year, and obviously the winner I think was impressive yesterday. But perhaps what was behind him or behind her wasn't anything to be excited about. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it would definitely. You could see easily them deciding to have a go at the Champion Hurdle next year. Again, or they can go chasing. But I mean, it's a lovely problem to have. But he does just seem to have an awful lot of talent and class as well.
Absolutely. I should point out as well, it's great to see you back in action today, obviously after your tumble yesterday. And you've got a day to look forward to tomorrow too.
Yeah, good rise tomorrow. I thought Le Bagoir's got hopefully a great chance in the plate handicap, and obviously it was great to pick up the ride on Apple's Jade. I've never ridden her before, but obviously Gordon Elliott's horses seem in great form as always. And again, whether they're just trying to change as much as anything else for her, just to because she's sort of been a bit hit and miss this season, but obviously if she brings her best to here, she's got a fantastic chance.
Let's hope you're the man to bring out the best in her.
I hope so.
Guys, thank you very much for your insight. Join us again tomorrow evening where we'll again be analysing the day's events. Thank you very much. If you want to have a look at the Racing Post app, please download that for free. And don't forget, we've got the new Racing Post live shows every day from the Cheltenham Festival. Thanks for joining us.